Night story. When I was doing my medical internship in a rural area, I had to travel twice a week to a small village located 2 hours away from the town where I was staying. The only way to get there was half the way by motorcycle and the other half on foot. It was a humid area with lots of vegetation. The village was practically across a mountain with several streams running down. It was beautiful, but also a tedious journey. I always went up early, did all the consultations for the day and came back down before 4 p.m. Although they always offered me a place to stay, I never did. Not only because it was so remote, but also because of something a woman once told me during a consultation. Every priest who came to that little village died. That's why the atmosphere at night feels heavy. I thought it was just superstition, until one night I had to find out for myself. I had finished my workday before 3 p.m., but right at that time, a storm began to fall like I had never seen before. Leaving the village under those conditions was far too dangerous. The streams became so strong they could sweep anyone away. If they didn't drown you, they beat you to death. So I had to stay. And guess what? The only place to stay was the rectory of the small church at the top of the village, perched on a cliff, surrounded by cold, gloomy trees. The rectory was always empty. Someone only went in the mornings to clean. The priest only came up on Sundays to give the morning mass, and by noon he was already leaving the village. He would never spend the night there. I've never believed in ghosts or anything paranormal. But that night when I walked into that house, I felt even my fingernails shaking. The house had a waiting room, a large kitchen with a dining area, a small sitting room, and then a hallway with several doors. 5 bedrooms in total, each with its own bed and bathroom. I chose the first room because it had a window facing the street and was closer to the entrance. I lay on the bed thinking I wouldn't be able to sleep, but out of nowhere I fell into a deep sleep. Suddenly, a sound in the hallway woke me up. I checked the time on my phone, 3:15 a.m. There was a thick, humid darkness in the room. A heavy silence, only broken by the dripping of water falling onto puddles near the window. Then I heard footsteps echoing on the wooden floor of the hallway. I stayed still, sitting on the bed, listening closely. And then, 3 slow knocks on my door. I figured it must be someone else who stayed over. Maybe the cleaning lady, the gardener, or the night watchman who made rounds at dawn. I calmly got up, turned the doorknob, opened the door, and a freezing breeze hit my face. There was no one outside. I peeked down the hallway and, at the far end, saw a shadow standing in front of a painting of St. Joseph, next to the 4th bedroom door. "Hello, who's there?" I asked. No answer. I turned on my phone's flashlight and aimed it to the end of the hallway. What I saw almost made my heart explode. A tall man dressed as a priest, nearly 2 meters tall, and next to him a pale white boy with enormous eyes. They both turned toward me and began to walk. I was leaning against the door, trying to step back into the room, but my body wouldn't move. My legs were frozen. I was paralyzed. They came closer with an eerie rhythm. They took short but rapid steps, almost like wind-up dolls. And then, the strangest part, they stopped right in front of me. I was trembling, crying from fear, but I couldn't make a sound. I couldn't even speak. The priest leaned over, picked up the boy by the arms, turned him around, and the boy stretched out and kissed my forehead. Then they left. I don't know where. I didn't see them disappear. The police told me the night watchman found me lying on the hallway floor, and all the doors of the rectory were wide open. That same morning, the village was in an uproar, because everyone claimed someone had knocked on their doors in the middle of the night. I don't remember any of that. All I know is that when I woke up, I was on a stretcher, and I had been unconscious for 5 days. Months later, I found out. 5 priests had already died in the same bed where I slept. Maybe that's why. They were angry.